Yeah.
Well, out there, one person.
Oh, wow.
We are.
Yeah, okay, I've heard of it.
It's they
weren't maintaining their wiring.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
And so they eventually fire happened. People would lose the call. The family, they would go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I will now open this public hearing. We are present tonight at this advertised public hearing to receive public comment on rezoning request from the citizen Christina Castillo, proposal to rezone her property from residential R1 to town center zoning. City Attorney Paul Stewart will act as the zoning administrator for this proposed zoning. Ms. Stewart, I will now turn this meeting over to you at this time.
This public hearing has been called on, as a citizen has initiated an application. Christina Castillo, who resides at 662 Old Gainesville Highway in the corporate city limits of Pendergrass, and pursuant to its zoning authority, is asking the city of Pendergrass to amend the text of its land use management code and allow for a change in the zoning of the property from residential to town center zoning. This public hearing has been duly advertised in the Jackson Herald as required by law. I'm going to summarize the process for the public hearings as required by 21.3 of the City Land Use Management Code. There's going to be a minimum time period of 10 minutes. This public hearing for the proponents of the rezone request to present data, evidence, and opinions. Any member of the City Council may ask questions of the applicant or the agent of the applicant. As the appointed zoning administrator, I shall read a brief synopsis of the city's review of this application. Ms. Castillo is the applicant. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation, I shall initiate the public comment portion of this hearing. There shall be a time period of 10 minutes for public input as to the application of the City Council. Hearing tonight. Any opponents to this application shall have a period of 10 minutes to present data, evidence, and opinions and ask questions of the applicant. Prior to speaking, each speaker shall clearly identify themselves and state his or her current address. Each speaker shall speak only to the merits of the proposed application under consideration and shall address his or her remarks to the hearing body. This is not an appropriate forum for personal attack on any person in this room, and all remarks should be limited to just relevant issues regarding this application. After the public input section of this hearing, the City Council may consider questions raised during the public portion of the hearing and may elect to answer questions following the speakers. The City Clerk shall act as the official timekeeper for these hearings. At the conclusion of public testimony, the applicant or his agent shall be allowed a short opportunity to answer questions about the testimony of the public and provide final comments and remarks. Any time devoted to any such rebuttal shall be counted towards the total of 10 minutes slotted. After the close of the public hearing section of this application, I will turn this meeting back over to the City Council, who shall indicate that the public hearing is closed. After these hearings are closed, the applicant or his agent or any member of the public shall no longer address the hearing body in any way, including hand waving or motions for attention or just standing up and beginning to talk. However, at any time considered appropriate by the City Council, we may reopen this public hearing for limited time and discussion. We will now begin the public hearing to review new zoning classification requests from the city. This is case number RZ0112024. I would ask that if there are going to be people speaking, that you elect or consider electing a spokesperson to address the council and give your remarks. I'm going to go over a synopsis of the rezone application as required by law. Application number RZ0112024. This is an application by citizen Christina Castillo, who resides at 662 Old Gainesville Highway, to amend the City Land Use Management Code and rezone her property from residential to town center districts. This property is presently located in the center of the downtown area within the city limits of Pendergrass, and the applicant wishes to rezone her property, which is contiguous to the town center zoning district, from its current residential zoning to town center zoning. At this time, any persons who wish to speak in favor of this proposed zoning amendment? Anyone? Okay. Any opponents that wishes to address and speak?
I'd like to speak, but not say no.
I'm sorry?
I want to speak.
Okay, if you can, give me your name
Pam
and,
Rambler, Pendergrass,
and what's your address?
108 Allen Street.
Okay. And, if we can just start the time.
I watched the March 12th work session twice. I was hopefully impressed with the competence of a few of you to address the main concern of the citizens of Pendergrass. Finally,
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Is this concerning
No,
this
but-
rezoning?
no, I'm not against it. It's a compliment, okay? I'm going to give you a compliment. Can I do that?
We're just doing the rezoning. I know the agreement say for the city council meeting, and we'll have a public comment for the city council.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's just like not a lot.
Yeah, I just want to stick to the
Okay.
public hearing, if
All right.
that's okay.
All right.
Anyone who wishes to address, on the merits of this application? Opposed to it? I'm now going to read to you my report and recommendation for the rezoning request. The authority that I'm relying on is the Village of Euclid versus Amber Realty Company, 272 U.S. 365. It's a 1926 case. It's more commonly known as Euclid versus Ambler, which was a United States Supreme Court landmark case argued in 1926. It was the first significant case regarding the relatively new practice of zoning and served to substantially bolster zoning ordinances in towns nationwide in the U.S. and other countries of the world, including Canada. Under Article 9, Section 2 of the Georgia Constitution, Home Rule for Counties and Municipalities, Paragraph 2, Home Rule for Municipalities. The General Assembly may provide by law for the self-government of municipalities, and to that end, it is expressly given the authority to delegate its powers so that matters pertaining to municipalities may be dealt with without the necessity of the action by the General Assembly. Paragraph 4, Planning and Zoning. The governing authority of each county and or each municipality may adopt plans and may exercise the power of zoning. This authorization shall prohibit the General Assembly from enacting general laws establishing procedures for the exercise of such power. OCGA Chapter 36 provides that state law recognizes the importance of growing cities to the economic health of Georgia by stating that municipal corporations are created for the purpose of providing local governmental services and for ensuring the health, safety, and welfare of persons and protection of property in areas being used primarily for residential, commercial, industrial, and institutional purposes. That's found at OCGA 36-36-51-1. Because one reason cities exist is to provide urban services so densely populated or developing areas, it follows that cities be allowed to grow to accommodate more intense development, as well as property owners and citizens that wish to enjoy the benefits of city services. Cities also provide a unique sense of place and community identity. The Department of Planning and Development has received an application from Christina Castillo, in which she is seeking to rezone her property located at 662 Old Gainesville Highway into the adjacent town center zoning. Ms. Castillo presently has no plans to develop this property at this time. It consists of 3.6 acres. This property is contiguous to the town center development currently being constructed on Glen Abbey Lane, formerly Old Gainesville Highway. Inclusion into the town center zoning district will be consistent with the city's plan to focus on infill and redevelopment and development in the city's downtown district, as well as quality of the development of the city center. This property is located in a transitional part of our community. It is transitioning from residential to mixed-use residential and commercial. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of this request to rezone the property from R1 to TC Town Center and finds that it is in the best interest of the citizens of this community for such zoning to be had. This zoning classification will benefit the city of Pendergrass public welfare. The zoning classification will comply with the city's efforts to promote the health, safety, welfare, and morals of this community and maintain the character of this zoning district while allowing for development and natural change to occur along the main thoroughfare through the city of the center of the city. This zoning, town center zoning, if approved, is substantially related to public health, safety, morality, and welfare because this proposed zoning is compatible with surrounding land uses and is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan for development. As such, if the City Council votes to rezone this property, approval as town center zoning would be the most suitable category. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the request to rezone this property from R1 to town center zoning. I am mandated to read you the rest of the report. It's a little long, so if you'll just bear with me. Pursuant standards governing exercise of zoning power pursuant to section 21.2.10 of the City of Pendergrass Land Use Management Code, analysis requirements for map amendment and conditional uses, table 21.2.4 and article 21, zoning amendments and applications and procedures. The city finds the following standards are relevant in balancing the interests promoting the public health, safety, morality, and general welfare against the restricted use of property and shall govern the exercise of the zoning power therewith standard. Whether the property affected by the zoning will be best suited for use for the new zoning as the current zoning. Excuse me. The proposed town center zoning will be best suited for this property as opposed to the current R1 zoning. Referring to the 2022 updated City of Pendergrass Comprehensive Land Use Plan conducted by and approved by the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission and the City of Pendergrass City Council, this property is located in downtown Pendergrass, and there is a need for continued commercial, office, and industrial infill and revitalization in downtown Pendergrass. The 2022 updated City of Pendergrass Comprehensive Land Use Plan states that there is a need to balance this bedroom community character in order to avoid appearing too small or quiet to prospective businesses and residents. Establishment of industry and commercial activity along Glen Abbey Lane would help create that balance. In the chapter addressing downtown, the comprehensive plan advises the need to provide amenities like restaurants, coffee shops, markets, and retail spaces for our citizens. The current property is zoned R1 residential and currently consists of one residential home. The vast majority of this property is in pasture. Nearby property is Zone TC, Town Center, and R1 single residential family. Under the existing zoning, the property may be used as single-family residential housing. Under the town center zoning, the property can be used as a commercial business to include restaurants, office buildings, merchant shops, small retail stores, and other commercial users.
Time, I will close the rezoning